Start by telling us your name.
My name is Norm Bamford.
Okay, hey. Can you tell us why Kratom is important to you personally?
See, back in September 11th of 2001, I was in the Air Force, and I was deployed immediately for Operation Enduring Freedom. I was continuously deployed for the next 6 years. Because I had such a clean record, I had a higher than top secret security clearance, so I've been sent literally all over the world. And I came back in 2007 with such severe PTSD that I couldn't check my mail. Every time the phone rang, I went into convulsions. I didn't like talking to people. I hid from people. And then I had heard about Kratom from my ex-wife, whose new husband was using it, and I was dead set against it. I never used narcotics, any illegal drugs, anything like that, so I was dead set against it. And then I had kidney stones. I don't know if you've ever had kidney stones before, but it is the most intense pain that anybody can ever have. And they left me some Kratom to try. And I tried it, and within 15-20 minutes, the pain was finally tolerable. I could move. I was able to make it to the emergency room to find out it was kidney stones. And then the other thing that I noticed is that I wasn't afraid. I wasn't paranoid anymore. It made me feel good. So then I could start working again, because I was jumping from job to job because I'd get paranoid. I was convinced that people were conspiring against me or something. Anytime a trigger was set, I started taking Kratom, and I was able to hold down a job. I've gone through ministry training. I'm now a pastor of a church. I now talk to people all the time. It's just been a real lifesaver, a game changer, if you will, in my life.
All right, so essentially what you're saying, just to recap, is that you actually started taking this for pain due to the kidney stones.
Correct.
And then you discovered almost accidentally the other effects.
Exactly.
Right, okay. How long have you been taking Kratom?
For 2 years.
Had any ill effects?
No. Once, when first trying it, I did take too much and got sick.
You
throw up,
Uh-huh.
and never did that again.
Okay, so you can't overdose with it?
You cannot. You can't get high from it. Like I said, I've never done any illegal narcotics, so.
Do you think without Kratom you would be able to, get a job and function normal?
I think that it's helped me with people to the point where I barely use Kratom now.
Right, okay.
But it was the catalyst that got me over
so it was
all the
fundamental to
anxiety.
getting you over the hill.
Absolutely.
And to, healthy society.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I really appreciate you taking time to talk.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
Hey, can you start out with telling me what your name is?
My name is Aaron Walker.
Okay, hey. Can you tell me why Kratom is important to you?
Yeah, I take it every day. I have 2 herniated discs in my back, my L4 and L5, and I suffer from sciatic nerve pain. If anybody's had that, they know it sucks. So I take Kratom every day. I was in the military, injured my back, and they were prescribing a lot of Vicodin and opiates, and I just didn't like the way I felt on it. Real fuzzy, like kind of lightheaded.
Yeah, we're hearing that a lot.
Yeah.
So Kratom doesn't have that effect. Is that
Does
right?
not, no. Matter of fact, I call it the warm blanket effect. When you take Kratom, after about 20 minutes, everything kind of washes over you, and you feel just warm and like happy.
So like at peace?
Yeah, at peace, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been taking Kratom for?
Found out about it about 4 years ago.
Okay, so you've been taking it for about 4 years. Have
Yes.
you had any side effects?
No, occasionally, like if you take too much, you might feel a little queasy.
Right.
That's the worst of it.
Okay, so you definitely can't overdose then?
No, absolutely not. No way.
Okay, yeah, you hear things like the D.E.A. talking about how it causes hallucinations.
It's total crap. Never had a hallucination. The only thing that I feel from Kratom is pain relief, and I feel good.
Okay. Alright, but without Kratom, you'd have to go back to, say, Vicodin, right?
I know when I don't take Kratom because my back starts to get really stiff. I stiffen up. I know that if I went back to Vicodin, it sucks. Number one, I feel like I start to need the pills, and I don't like that feeling. Where if I feel pain and I need to take that next pill, I hate that. I don't know, it's just the fuzziness. That was the worst part about taking all those opiates. I just felt not clear-headed. And I couldn't, drive or I couldn't do certain things on them, but if you can do that on Kratom, it's fine.
Okay, so would you say that you're better able to live your life on Kratom then? It sounds like that.
Fully functional.
Right.
Yeah, you know, when you have back pain, especially debilitating back pain, you're stuck in bed. Your work life hurts. Your relationship suffers, and that causes a lot of depression. And it's a cyclical effect. You know, the pain and the depression, and it just brings you down. So Kratom absolutely lifts me up. It makes me a more productive member of society.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I start by asking what your name is?
Mike Dombrowski.
Okay, hey Mike. Is the shirt for real?
The shirt is for real. I'm a retired EOD bomb tech.
Okay. What does Kratom matter to you?
Kratom to me, it actually turned my life around away from anxiety and depression. I was on 6 different antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. It just did not sit well with my cognitive thought process.
Right.
And about a year after consuming those, I found Kratom, and that was back in 2010, and I've consumed that since. And that's the only thing that I consume, and it's just a miracle plant.
Okay, so you've been using it for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any side effects from Kratom?
None whatsoever.
How about back when you were using the pharmaceuticals?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, it impaired my cognitive thought process. You know, just slow. Didn't want to be energetic, do anything with my kids. I'm a father of 2, so back then I didn't want to do anything but just sit around, lay around. Now I am. I'm actually energetic and can get out and fully function.
Okay, so you can like interact better with your family.
Absolutely.
Lead a normal life now with Kratom.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks.
You.
Have a good one.
Thanks. What's your name?
My name's Kristie.
Okay, hey Kristie. Can you tell me why you're using Kratom or simply you are?
I have fibromyalgia and degenerative disc disease, and you have glaucoma.
Okay, alright, so is Kratom helping with those?
It is helping tremendously. The pain medicine that the doctors had gave me, it was barely touching the fibromyalgia pain.
Okay, so what pain medication were you on before?
I have taken Lortab and Narco, and it just really doesn't help.
Okay, well, it's talking like really strong drugs when you're talking about
Yes.
that. So that didn't work with Kratom does?
Yes.
What side effects are you having from Kratom?
Constipation is about it.
Okay, alright. How about your mental clarity compared to things like Narco?
Narco, I really had a lot of fogginess and lethargy. With Kratom, I don't have that. I'm more clear-headed and can function a lot better.
You said that you're using it for glaucoma. What's it doing in that regard, do you think?
I don't have the pain in my eyes like I did without anything, because they don't really give you nothing but drops for glaucoma.
How long have you been using Kratom?
Since January.
Okay, alright, well, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Alright. Hey, tell me your name?
Herschel Clayborn.
Okay, hey, it's good to meet you. Can you tell me why Kratom is important to you?
Kratom is important to me. I've got several health issues I have had. Started when I was young. It helps tremendously. I've got degenerative disc. They've just recently found a tumor on my lungs, which instead of taking the steroids, I take the Kratom, and it does help with the swelling, helps with the pain. It has lowered my A1C level to the point they've lowered my medication. They've completely taken me off of blood pressure medication.
And that's just from the Kratom. The Kratom lowered your blood pressure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said that it was helping with a tumor. Is that a cancerous tumor? Can you tell me?
They're still in the testing phase of that, but they think it is.
Okay, and Kratom is helping reduce the size of the tumor?
Reduce the size, reduce the swelling, the pain.
Okay. How long have you been using it for?
Since the end of December.
Have you had any ill effects from Kratom?
None.
None. Okay. How about, were you using Kratom to replace something else that you used in the past?
I've been on some hardcore narcotic medication, Oxycontin, Dilaudid, Lortabs, Tramadol, and I don't have any need for any of them.
Okay, a whole array of painkillers. How does Kratom make you feel in comparison to those painkillers?
I can function. I'm not a lump sitting in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, we found it to be an irony that people feel like they're drugged when they're on things like Norco and Vicodin, and then they go to Kratom, which the D.E.A is trying to make illegal, and they don't feel drugged and they don't feel impaired.
I feel, well, my son said it the best. He's 16 years old, and for the first part of his life, I was not there. I was there, but I wasn't.
Right.
And now I'm out, we're working on his vehicle together, we're teaching him how to drive, I'm out doing stuff with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he believes in it wholeheartedly. He spreads the word around to his friends.
So in a way what you're saying is that you've been able to reconnect with your son because of Kratom?
Yes. My whole family.
That's incredible. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Can you start with me what your name is?
My name's Shawn.
Okay.
Shawn Meeser.
Hey, Shawn. Can you tell me why Kratom matters to you?
I originally started taking Kratom last year when I found out I had cancer. I took no pharmaceuticals at all for pain. I only took Kratom. I had a full total hysterectomy from my pelvic bone up around my belly button. And as soon as they took me off the morphine at the hospital, I went right to dosing with Kratom, and I haven't looked back since. I also used it for depression. I was on antidepressants for probably about 15 years.
Wow, okay. How long have you been using Kratom for?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
All right. And which did you try it for first? For the pain or for the depression?
Pain.
Okay. And did you find out about the assistance with depression because it just happened by itself, like almost like a positive side effect, or how did that happen?
Once I found out about Kratom, then I found out about all the Facebook groups. Then I started going into the Facebook groups and then learning more about it. And then they are the ones that told me that it also helps with depression, anxiety, and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So do you take it every day then?
Oh yeah, I take it about 6 times a day. Yep.
Okay. Do you have side effects from Kratom?
No.
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 Okay. And you said you were using it for pain from cancer, is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Okay, so pretty significant pain.
Yes. Yeah, bone and muscle pain. I had no pain at all using Kratom. No pain at all.
Okay, so it definitely works.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for taking time to talk. Sure. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you have your name?
My name's Jennifer.
Can you tell us why Kratom is important to you?
Well, I started taking Kratom because it helps with my anxiety and depression. I've had anxiety and depression since I was in elementary school, and I wanted to find an alternative to all the drugs I was on, and I found Kratom, and it helps.
How long have you been using it?
About 5 years.
Okay, so you've been on Kratom for 5 years. Have you had any ill effects from Kratom?
Nope. The worst is probably constipation.
Okay.
But if you take too much of it, you just get nauseous.
Right, so you can't overdose.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that. All right. Hey, can you tell me what your name is?
Richard.
Okay, maybe. Can you tell me why Kratom is important to you, or why it's important to become a narcotic?
Well, Kratom has done a lot for me. It's, it really actually helps my allergies. I've had allergies my whole life, and I found out about Kratom, started taking it, and I'm clear. It used to be where I could cut the grass, and I'd be in the house for 2 weeks, just digested. Now, I can cut the grass, take my Kratom, I'm good.
How long have you been using it?
About a year now.
About a year.
Yeah.
Had any ill effects?
Nope. Not one bad side effect from it.
Okay. So you've been using it for allergies mostly?
Yeah, for allergies and energy. It's like a good coffee to me. And also, I've got friends who are hooked on heroin, and this, I think, could really save their lives. But now that they're banning it, heroin's a big problem right now.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It's talking to you.
You're welcome.
Can you start with telling me your name?
My name is Susana Castillo.
Okay, hey. Can you tell me why Kratom matters to you?
Well, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2006, and for 7 years, doctors prescribed me a lot of medication, and they put me through a lot of treatment, which really, really helped me much. And I was on narcotics for more than 7 years. And I was on a pain specialist, and one day my pain specialist decided to kick me out of the program. So I was going through withdrawals, and I was searching the internet for an alternative, and I found Kratom.
Okay, just to repeat, you got Crohn disease, you were being treated for 7 years, and then the pain specialist kicked you out?
Yes, yes.
Why exactly did they kick you out?
Oh, they kicked me out of the program because I kept complaining about my pain pills that would make me feel a lot of anxiety. Right. And they would keep telling me that it's one of the side effects of the pain medication.
So they kicked you out because the pharmaceuticals created side effects and you had the audacity to complain about that?
Yes. Yes, and they will switch me from medication to medication, different type of narcotics. And one day they sent me a letter saying that they couldn't help me anymore.
Okay.
Yes,
So then you sent to Kratom.
Yes, and they also sent me a prescription for a patch for withdrawals, which didn't really help at all. So.
Okay, how long have you been taking Kratom?
For 3 years.
3 years,
Yes.
okay. Do you have side effects from Kratom?
No. No.
Okay, how does it make your pain feel?
I have no pain with Kratom.
You have no pain?
Yes.
Okay, and how about mentally compared to the pharmaceuticals?
Well, you can ask my husband. He gave my life back. I'm more active at home. My kids are happier with the new mom that they have after they
Do you feel more like now you're, for want of a better word, the real you?
Of course.
Compared
yes.
to...
Oh, yes. For the whole 7 years that I was taking narcotics, I was either sleeping all the time, I was tired, very moody, and with a lot of anxiety.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Can you start with telling me your name?
My name is Stormy. I'm from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, hey. Can you tell me why Kratom is important to you personally?
To me personally, I suffer from PTSD, chronic pain, depression. All the meds that I have to take cost more than $900 a month. I can't afford it. My son is a heroin addict. I don't care about me personally. I care about everybody that's going to lose that option. You know, the people with the chronic pain. But my passion is more with the people with the opiate addiction. There's no help out there. I mean, this is their only option right now, and it sickens me to think about they don't have nothing. They're going to go back to heroin and the pills.
Okay, you were comparing, the psychiatric medicines that you tried in the past with Kratom. How does it compare, as far as being effective?
Very effective. I stopped everything. I stopped all my psychiatric drugs, the drugs for depression.
How about the side effects? Does Kratom have side effects?
No, nothing. Not a bit. I mean, it tastes like dirt. It does. It really does. I mean, because that recreational use, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It tastes like dirt.
Right.
But that's it. I mean, if you take too much of it, the only thing that happens is you'll throw up.
Okay. How about the pharmaceutical drugs? Did you have side effects with those?
Oh, yeah. Tons of them. I mean, it affects your appetite, makes you gain weight, gives you additional psychiatric issues.
Right, of course.
It affects your libido. I mean, just the list goes down and down.
Can you start with telling me what your name is?
My name's Michael Foote.
Okay, hey Michael. Can you tell me why Kratom matters to you as an individual?
Well, I had a couple of neck surgeries because my spinal canal is too narrow. And the surgeries were to keep me from becoming paralyzed.
Okay.
But they also caused searing pain to shoot down my arms while I was in, the position I'd normally sit in at work, like at the keyboard. So I couldn't do my work all day long. So my wife actually did a lot of research on what I could maybe do and came across Kratom. My doctor was responsible and didn't get me hooked on Vicodin.
Okay.
So I had to do something about the pain. So I found Kratom, and I've been using it for 3 years. I'm able to use it at work with no problems. It doesn't make me loopy. If anything, it kind of gets me over that, that hump after lunch when you get a little bit tired. But otherwise, the pain just goes away. It works very well.
Did you have side effects from Kratom?
Not really. A little bit extra energy, a little bit better mood. Not something I would call high, really. The first time I tried it, honestly, I took too much.
Yep.
And I got really nauseous for about 2 hours.
Right.
And then felt perfectly normal afterwards and tried it again with much less. And it turns out it's the only thing I can think of that works really much better when you use as little as possible. So instead of being something that makes you want to take more and more, it's something that kind of keeps you in check Right. If you take a lot, you get sick. If you take a very little bit, it works perfectly.
So what you're saying is you can't really overdose with it?
Right. I really don't think you could. You would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's powdered leaves. You can only cram so much of that down your throat.
Right.
You know. It's
okay. All right. So you use it for pain. Do you think you'd be able to live your life as you currently do without Kratom?
It would be really hard. I was getting to the point where I didn't think I could just sit at my desk all day. I tried, standing desk, tried changing the height of my monitors, and it was always there for some reason, holding my arms, level like I'm typing. Just hurt a lot. I don't know what I'd do. I'm going to have to figure it out because it looks like they're making it illegal.
Maybe there are a lot of people here trying to, make sure that doesn't happen, but it sounds like, you won't be very happy in that situation. But,
yeah, I don't think I would start taking opiates if I had to. I'd probably deal with the pain, but I don't want to have to do that. That seems like a bad way to live the rest of the next 30 or 40 years. It's not like my neck's going to get better as I get older.
Right, okay.
It's going to get worse, so it's nice to know there's something out there that that doesn't ruin my life. Vicodin, OxyContin, that ruins people's lives.
Yes, it does.
And methadone and other things they use to get you off of that are even worse for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know, but when morphine came out, it was said to help people with opium addictions, and then when heroin came out, it was supposed to help people with morphine addictions. And here we are today. With them trying to ban Kratom and all things.
Right.
But I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Well, one thing I would say, just to be in all, because what you said there it makes a lot of sense. There's a point to be made. That, like I said, I've been taking it for 3 years.
Yeah.
So about every 6 months, I stopped taking it for a while.
Okay.
Just to, if you take something all the time, you wonder what it's doing to you.
Sure.
So I have found that the extent of the withdrawal, and there is somewhat of a withdrawal.
Okay.
I'm really grumpy for 3 days.
Okay.
Really want to sleep for those 3 days. So I go to work, come home, and sleep.
Right.
And then about on the 4th day, I'm fine.
Okay, so compared to like a caffeine addiction?
I can't even imagine quitting coffee.
Right, okay.
The headaches, the irritability, no.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.
Can you start by telling me your name?
My name is Carrie Cummins Calabrese.
Yeah, hey, Carrie. Can you tell me why Kratom is an important issue for you?
Kratom is an important issue for me because, first, I personally have had an experience with Kratom for 3 years now on a daily basis, using it to treat pain and addiction issues as well as anxiety. I have multiple chronic pain issues, including fibromyalgia and arthritis, degenerative disc disease, bulging discs, that sort of thing. And of course, the doctors put me on strong opiates, OxyContin and oxycodone at the same time. And within a very short time period, I became physically and mentally addicted to them, to the point where I would run through my prescription, within a week and have 3 weeks left without them and withdraw once a month. I put that myself and my family through quite a bit of problems because of that. And one time when I was withdrawing, I just couldn't deal anymore, so I went to Google and looked for natural withdrawal treatments, and Kratom came up. So I started to look into it and research it, see what it was, and when I realized it was just a plant, and I looked into side effects and stuff, I decided to give it a try. So anyway, I got some, and it was just the first dose of it was just completely amazed. It took most of my pain away. It took the withdrawal symptoms completely away. It took my anxiety levels down so that I was able to communicate with people much better. I have high functioning autism, and reaching out and talking to people, I wouldn't be able to do this interview, to be honest with you. I would have had to decline. So from that point on, I continued to use the Kratom daily, multiple times a day, and with no ill effect, and only positive to the point where I was able to get out and start exercising and dropped about 70 pounds. Went from, you know, a couch potato to just last week I walked a 5K on my own. Thank you. I was pretty proud. Just, you know, I'm able to be active, and now here I am in Washington, D.C. being an activist, standing up for, you know, my rights. It's not something I can do.
How long did you say that you've been taking Kratom?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Have you had any side effects from Kratom?
Not really. Once I accidentally took out my doses a little too close together, just once, and there was a little bit of side effects, but it cleared up really quick. And I have run out of Kratom before, and really, people talk about withdrawals from that, but no, not, you know, especially after going through OxyContin withdrawals, you know, it's just not.
How about the mental effects of Kratom compared to, say, oxycodone?
I feel like with the oxycodone that it really clouds my mental acuity. It overpowers, and it kind of takes over because it just becomes all I think about.
Right, so you feel like you're not yourself on the oxycodone?
Right. And with the Kratom, it does affect. I do feel differently, but it makes me more, like I said, more communicative and able to talk, which is a positive. So I just feel more relaxed and outgoing.
So essentially, you're just overall better able to communicate and less pain, and you feel like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.